Hi guys, so I have another relaxation type video for you. It's also a rambling sort of vlog talking about myself a little bit video too. Again, I'm trying to keep my voice level low. I've tried to film this a couple of times and I keep finding myself drifting above what I feel is a good level for the relaxation type videos. So hopefully this will be the magic number 3 and I can be done and film some more videos for you guys. But the main thing I'm going to talk about today are these little figurines I have, and I have, I believe, 12 of them. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the features of each one, do a little bit of tracing, a little bit of tapping. I don't have really long fingernails right now, and so the tapping I do probably won't be that loud, which is probably also okay because I know not everyone gets into the tapping, so I'll try to keep it minimal but present. And also I decided to do a little bit more of a dark gothic type look today just because it seems like fun. And the lip gloss I have on is actually marshmallow scented. So yes, it's black, but it also smells like marshmallows. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about really quick before I get started is I'm now on Patreon, and I'll put the Patreon link in my description box below, and then I'll also have a link to it at the end of the video, probably like somewhere up here. Patreon is a way for you to support my videos. It also means you get special goodies that no one else gets, and you get sneak peeks and stuff like that. Plus, the more support I have, the quicker I can upgrade my equipment. I can upgrade to a camera that will allow me to plug in an external microphone and hopefully get an external microphone as well. They're a little bit expensive, so we'll see how that goes, but no more of that. I'm just going to move on to showing you my little figurines. So, I'm a collector type of person. I've always collected things, and I don't have a lot of the stuff I collected as a kid. I think my parents probably still have some of it, but for the most part, I kind of let go of a lot of the toys I had or gave them to someone else, but this is something I've actually been actively collecting, and these are little porcelain type figurines. Some of them are not, they're mostly about this size, but so this little guy is a duck, and I got him from a local vendor who sells oddities and antiques and stuff like that. And I really love the pattern on his back and his wings. It's kind of a different feather texture than I usually see, and a lot of times when I see these little ducklings and stuff, they tend to be smooth and there's not a lot of pattern to them. So he's very different. And I like this bright blue glaze that he's colored with. And he's got a really cute little face, I think. You can see his feet down here. And he's very smooth. The texture isn't too intense. But he's kind of nice to pet. So I'll put him away. I'll show you the next one. And the next one is a bit more personal in that he is an Egyptian hippo, or what I call an Egyptian hippo. He's got like hieroglyphics type emblems on him. He's got a little tail there, and little flowers on the side. And he's also in the same color of blue glaze. He's got a little chunky face. But when I was a teenager especially, I was really into Egyptian culture. And I just loved some of the cultural aspects, I guess, like the kohl eyeliner, and I did line my eyes in kohl powder for at least a couple of years. I was pretty good at it. I somewhere along the way lost that skill. But I was also into mythology, like Greek and Roman mythology, but Egyptian as well. And I loved the clothing, like the sheer but pleated clothing and all that stuff. So of course I had to get this little guy when I saw him at an antique store. He's really cute. I'll show you his back one more time because he has a little lotus here. And I really like lotuses. I think for me, they stand for renewal and for starting over and things like that. Also kind of a sign of hope and moving forward even if things don't seem great at the moment. They're one of the few things I'll actually sketch occasionally. Mine don't look quite like this, but I do sketch them occasionally. So I'll put this little guy back in the box. And the next one is this little elephant. And he's actually a pretty simple little guy. Got a kitty rubbing on the camera. I think he's actually one of those like the inexpensive trinkets that you buy as a tourist or whatever, but I really like him. I think he's cute. And he's definitely like a little baby. He's got like a baby type physique, I guess. He's got little ears. That was a cat again. They don't like to leave me alone when I'm filming. I don't think they understand what ASMR is. Hopefully that wasn't too loud though. And he's got a little trunk. And then he's got 4 little feet. Actually don't remember where I got this one. Probably in an antique store. I tend to get a lot of stuff at antique stores. So that's probably where he came from. The next one is actually from a local artist. And he's more of a, I remembered the word and then lost it, but he's kind of like 2 different animals combined. He's got an owl's body, but then he's got a rabbit's head and rabbit ears. He's quite delicate. His ears have already cracked just a little bit, and the artist told me that when I picked him out, but I saw him on a ledge. And I wondered if he was for sale because I really felt a connection. And I love rabbits, so that was probably why I would also love owls. And we asked the artist and they said that yes, it was. So this little guy got to come home with me and join my collection. He's a little bit of a lighter blue than the other 2, the duck and the hippo, but he's really interesting. He's kind of got a vintage look to him. I think the base figurine probably is vintage, so that might be why. The next one I have is a cat. This is a smiling cat, and he has a little collar on that says Cheshire Cat. It's actually just a little piece of like paper tape ribbon there's a little piece of clear tape that's actually holding it closed in the back. So he's also like a glaze. He's got a little head. And look at that big smile. He's pretty cute. I think he looks very confident, as cats usually do. Not much going on the back of him, but still a very sleek silhouette. None of my cats have a very sleek silhouette, so this is unusual for me. But there he is, and I'm going to pull this little tiny one out here before I forget about him. this one, which is super tiny, is a little smiling caterpillar, and he's got a little hat, a round hat, and he came from a flea market type thing where people had booths, and I happened to see him in a little tray of multiple different figurines, and he was the one that really stood out to me. So I decided to get him and bring him home and add him to my collection. And he's the smallest one I have. Probably the smallest one I'll get too, because I like them to all be about the same size, but he's just so cute. And he is this really interesting like cobalt blue glaze and white, which I've seen a lot in like vintage and antique china and things like that, but he's definitely just a little figurine. It's pretty cute though. Next one is totally different. Here, I'll turn him this way because you can see his face better. He's a crocodile or an alligator, I'm not sure which one. But I think he probably stored something in here. And at first I thought that this was chipped, but if I look at it, I can only see a little chip spot like right here, but the rest of it, the glaze kind of lines up, so I think that it was meant to be this way. And he actually has Germany written on the back of his little tree stump or grass clump or whatever that is. But it says Germany right there. Oh, there's his tail. He has this kind of, I don't know what you call that facial expression, but he kind of seems like he's guarding over the little, whatever this is, or possibly trying to tempt you into taking something out of it. I'm not sure. He's definitely a different one. Shift things around a little bit in our box so I can get to this next one. So this is the only one I have that is actually not just a figurine, but actually has a purpose. And I'll show you what that is in a moment. So this is a chubby little bird. That's its actual, what I'm going to call it. And he's got a little beak here. And then he's got two little gold eyes on the top. And then the rest of him is white. And the top is like plastic, I guess? Or something similar. Then his body here is glass, I think. But he opens up and is actually like a hand cream container, I think, or he held some kind of something. And it says Avon on the bottom, so it's an Avon container. Maybe like a face cream or perfumed lotion or something like that. But he's a pretty interesting, I want to say like Art Deco or something like that type of design. Please don't be mad at me if it's not actually Art Deco, I don't know. And there's my heater kicking on again. I hope these noises aren't too distracting. If you can hear them, you may not even be able to hear them, and I may be pointing them all out for no reason. But anyway, this is my little bird. And the next one, I think this is probably the largest one, is this elephant. And he's also got a raised trunk, like the little baby one. But this one has like a patterned blanket on. And this little head covering, and this little head covering has like a little stone in it. And I think he's actually, if I remember properly, I think he's part of a See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil set, but I thought he was cute and I decided to get him. I think I got him at Garden Ridge, now called At Home, I believe. Oh, and he's got little bracelets too on all 4 feet. And his tummy. Okay, looks like I have 3 more. So this one is another bunny. Kind of a crazy-eyed bunny if you really look at where the eyes are placed. This one's not even with the other one, or at least, yeah, they're not quite even. Close, but not quite. And I love the pattern in the ears. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let's see if I can rotate this one up for you. See? So there's like a lighter pattern on the inside, and then a darker pattern on the outside of the ears. And he looks like he's got a flower on his face, and a larger matching flower on his back. And he's definitely like a porcelain type thing. And he actually has an interesting base as well. There's a pattern here. I'm not sure what those are. I'm gonna say clouds. Those are clouds as far as I'm concerned. He's definitely probably the most colorful one, for sure, yes. So it's just a little bunny. Little crazy looking bunny. Okay, then I have this one, which was made by a different local artist. This is a dog, and he's also glazed. It's very smooth. And I really like his face. He looks very cheery and happy. Finally, the last one is this little guy. So this is the one that I actually went actively searching for, because I remember as a kid watching Ferdinand the Bull, the cartoon, and one of the events I do or have done in the past was a Day of the Dead, and we had a one of the piñatas, like their traditional piñatas, and every year they would beat it up and then burn it in the fire pit after we were done with it, and tease me about the fact that we were burning it. So I thought I would find my own little bull figurine that I could keep and that no one is going to burn in a fire pit. So this is the one I finally found, and he's purple, which makes it so much better. He's got a little green collar, and he's holding a little rose in his mouth. I'm afraid if I touch it too much, it's going to fall out. So he's obviously quite the ladies' man, because he's got this flower, and he's got a little tuft of fluff on his head, and he's slightly cross-eyed, but you can overlook that when there's a flower. It's totally fine. But he's like a flocked material. And I don't think, he might have had a sticker on him at one point, but he doesn't anymore. He's got these little plastic horns. And 2. This one moves a little bit. So he's the last one. And I can't really pick a favorite, but purple is my favorite color, and he kind of matches my lip color today. And you probably noticed that I did go for the more gothic theme today, so I'm hoping you don't mind that, but I thought it would be fun to mix it up a little bit. And I also wore this necklace, which is made from glass pearls and some black beads and a piece of like a vintage finding. I think it was part of a set of earrings, and it's definitely like tarnished, but I think it looks more interesting that way. It's a heart. It's got like a filigree type pattern on it, and I actually made this necklace. For a little while I was thinking about making jewelry, and I suppose I still might, but I think mostly I'm just going to make it for myself. But it's really pretty, and I have been wearing this a little bit more lately just because I like the heart and it goes well with some of the stuff I have. And I also wore quite a few rings today. Most of these are actually supposed to be knuckle rings. Knuckle rings are the ones like this one, where they sit below your knuckle, or while they sit below the first knuckle and above the second knuckle. Like this one, which is on my ring finger. I'm not going to try to take it off, I guess, but I have very, very small hands. I think my first finger on each hand is the only one that can wear a relatively standard size ring. These are usually like a size 5. My ring finger, this one, is 3 1/4. 3 1/4 is not a size that you can find most women's jewelry in. Usually women's jewelry starts at a 5 or a 6. So often I can't find any jewelry for my hands, so when I do find rings that fit, I'm pretty excited. But these little stacking knuckle rings are great because I can wear them on the knuckles of some fingers, but then if I want to wear them as pinky rings or rings on my ring finger, and some of them are actually large enough that they'll slide all the way down, like this one, I can do that, which is nice because I love rings. I love wearing rings, and I love jewelry in general, especially what I suppose most people consider costume jewelry. But not expensive like diamonds or anything like that, but I just love unique jewelry, and I love like the onyx type stones like this one and this one. I've actually had this ring for quite a while. And this one is a little bit different, but it's also a black stone. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be making more for you soon. So as always, please like and comment, especially if you enjoyed the video. And hopefully I will see some of you on Patreon, and I will be talking to all of you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!